Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Sunday night edition of the Toon Review with myself, Paul, and I am joined by a full house tonight. We've got Stato, we've got Billy, and we've got Lady Sam. So looking forward to getting stuck into some transfer gossip and latest news and see what may happen this week with the club. Hopefully, we are going to bring in some new signings, but, well, it has been very quiet so far, but it may pick up now. Certainly with the likes of Guehi, etc., linked with the club. But as usual, if you do enjoy tonight's show, please do smash that thumbs up button. Very important to the channel that we keep those coming in. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Come and be part of this incredible community on the Toon Review. But don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an uploaded video or a live show. You can support the channel in two ways. First one is by membership, of course. Is the join button just at the bottom of the live chat. And, of course, you can super chat via the $sign at the bottom of the live chat as well. And that will also guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. Good evening, my fellow hosts.
Good evening to all of that and Viewerland as well.
Very, very busy weekend with rumours, of course, as it normally is with Newcastle United. But we just want to start with a quick address of the latest statement that's come out from the Newcastle United Supporters Trust regarding what is happening on Saturday in Newcastle or may happen. We're not going to discuss anything that goes on at the minute. That is not our place to do so. We don't want anything in the chat tonight regarding what's going on around the UK. It's not our position. We are a football channel, and we will continue to talk about football and bring back a bit of normality to the viewers. So nothing in the chat, please, about what's going on. Nothing from us. Apart from what the Newcastle United Supporters Trust have come out with a statement today regarding the Cellar weekend. Alex, I believe you've got it there.
I have indeed, yeah. So we are aware of planned protest in Newcastle this coming Saturday, the same as day 2 of the Cellar weekender at St James's Park, which may pose a threat to public safety. Today, Newcastle United Supporters Trust have contacted NUFC and North East Mayor Kim McGuinness to ask what plans are in place to ensure supporter safety. We will communicate their response and any plans or advice in due course. And there are some rumours that NUFC, along with Liverpool and Everton, have also contacted the police to kind of get some guidelines and start working with them in anticipation. But we are just people talking on a box in YouTube land. Our views aren't really relevant on this. I think just wait for official news from clubs and police and things like that.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do is just wait for official news from the club. As soon as we get anything, obviously, it'll be put out on social media, or we'll bring anything to you in our shows, of course, about what's going to happen at the weekend. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it all just sort of dies off and common sense prevails. But like I said, nothing in the chat today, please, about that. We are talking about Newcastle United, and let's concentrate on Newcastle United. Right, so let's get going then. Obviously, various players have been linked with the club. We've just got a quick super chat in there from Alexander Allard. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a long and very busy week, like a duck on water, calm on top, but busy under. I still want to know what your job is. He just will not tell us. How do you pronounce that name, by the way?
Name?
Neve? I don't know. Anyway, she says, I presume it's a she. I do apologize if it's not. Hi, TTR family. Number one Toon channel. Lady Sam, you are really rocking that new shirt. Yes, you are.
I love it. I was like on the fence, and then I just thought, nah, all in, and I love it.
Do you know what? I think a lot of people feel like that they were on the fence with it, but now they've seen the team play at it, and a lot of supporters have had it through. Mine, unfortunately, is defected. Damn it. So I couldn't wear it tonight. It's a very small defect, but it's a defect nonetheless. And for 80 quid, I think, hopefully Adidas will swap that over for me. But it is a glorious shirt, and I just love the old style badging on it as well.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah,
material really interesting as well. It's just got something about it. The bold colours. I love it. I love the little magpie on the back. Yeah, for it.
It's absolute quality. Now, obviously, there was a little bits and bobs of news that I did in an earlier recorded show. But Billy, Eddie Howe made comments about Sanusi and about Lloyd Kelly. Sanusi himself has already stated that he wants to push to be around the first team this season. And certainly in pre-season, he's done no harm. He's performed really, really well. Certainly in the Japan games, he came on with 11 minutes to go in the first game and really excelled in that 11 minutes. And then a whole second half before he went off injured, of course. Nothing on his injury at the moment, but it was the knee that he injured towards the back end of last season. So that's a little bit of a worry. But Eddie, very pleased with him and Lloyd Kelly.
Yeah, apparently it was precaution where he went off. So nothing to worry about there. I think he could well make a bench and maybe a Carabao Cup game because he offers us something different, doesn't he? He's unpredictable. No one will know who he is. He's got a lot of flair, a lot of talent in his feet. Yeah, I think he's got chances of making the bench and getting minutes this year if Eddie Howe wants to play him. I mean, he's usually tends to kind of hedge his bets on the young talent coming in, but with an injury or two, I think you can definitely be confident in playing. Kelly, I thought was really, really good. I thought he was very solid. Pace, anticipation was really good. So, yeah, 2 bright spots from yesterday, no doubt.
Yeah. Alex, I mean, Sanusi, he's very direct, isn't he? He's very confident kid. He gets the ball. He runs at defenders. And, you know, he showed there in Japan that he's not frightened of anything. He's not frightened to have a shot or take people on, which is really exciting for us as fans seeing a player like that coming through.
I mean, it's no secret that my opinion is we need a tricky winger. Everybody needs at least one trickster in the squad, regardless of what league you're in. Really, you need a different weapon. You need sometimes that bit of unpredictability. And we all know who I'm referring to in the player that was sold. So we need.
Idea, Alex. You never mentioned him.
Yeah, he was a breath of fresh air, to be fair, Sanusi, the other night. Afternoon, morning, whenever it was. Some of the physicality was decent, and just the reading of the game, able to start a move as the player was kind of coming in to tackle, and just being able to roll the ball past 2 or 3 players quite effortlessly, which then creates space for everyone else. It's a feature we don't really have at the moment. All of our wingers are a bit more traditional in Gordon, Barnes, Murphy, even Miggy. You know, Miggy has a bit more kind of cut inside ability. The rest are kind of, well, I guess Barnes and Gordon do on the opposite side. It's just a little bit different. But we don't have anybody that kind of can run at a defender, do a cheeky little ball roll, do a Cruyff turn, do this, do that, make some space out of thin air. And it's good to have somebody that can do that. Just to unlock defenses and things. As we're going to start to grow, teams are going to pay us more respect. We can't just steamroll teams. Every team next year, there's going to be a lot of teams are going to set up in a very deep low block. Try and be very careful. They'll pick their moments to hit us on the counter punch. We got taken apart last year by a lot of that, missing some of our big hitters, and we got beaten by a lot of the newly promoted sides, and we had a real tough time. So we've got to be careful, and sometimes it's good to have a little trickster to unpick locks that maybe you can't do at the time. If we've tried an hour doing it the conventional way, Sanusi could be an option. Again, still a bit young though. I think it's a little bit too early for him to be playing Premier League minutes.
Well, if you're good enough, you're old enough, Alex, and I think he might well be good enough, but time will tell.
I think it's one of those where you could see his talents there, but you've got to remember how demanding Eddie Howe is of you understanding everything about your role. You know, exactly where do you need to be and who do you need to be tracking and which direction.
Will he learn by that in the academy, Alex, or will he learn by that around the first team?
He will, but if we're 1-1 in a game and we're trying to grab a winner, is he the kind of player that comes on with 20 minutes, half an hour to go? If he's not 100% confident in is he going to be able to cope with being counter-attacked? Where does he go in transition? Where he's got to learn all of these things.
Well, even Maxi there saying he's an exciting player, Alex. So if he's got Maxi's in
massively, I think it's a little bit early about seeing him in the Premier League, but yeah, he's definitely got it. Whatever it is, he's got it.
Yep. Shmalk, thank you for your super chat. Just me losing faith in this season before ball is kicked. I'm not yet. Chippers, thank you for your super chat. Since I was 21 yesterday, I am feeling generous. 21, my arse.
Did anyone see Chippers on PD Proudlots go for a Tom Tit and not take his phone off?
Yes.
Oh, did he?
He was straining.
Yeah.
Oh, Chippers, man, how many times How many times? I mean, that was
Vile. Absolutely vile.
Well done, Chippers. Well done. Paul, my daughter works in Morpeth and she's seen Anthony Gordon. She asked him if he's staying at Newcastle and he said, sorry, but I can't disclose that information for betting reasons. What do you think? I think you're winding me up, is what I really think. But who knows what's happening with Gordon? We just have to wait and see. Sanusi, Harrison, and Miley have all been impressive. Hope they can get some minutes for us this season. Jan says Sanusi is to replace Yakuba Minte, who we never seen at the Toon. Sanusi looks very... We're going to stop calling him Sanusi. It's Sanusi, not Sanusi. Sanusi's a washing machine. Looks a very confident player, which is a bonus. Joshua said, heard that Newcastle won't pay over £55 million for Gui, but hopefully a deal can be agreed before the Southampton game. I've heard very interesting things about Gui, Sam, that maybe, some reports are suggesting that Liverpool are also in for him, and some other reports are saying that Liverpool are not interested, given the price tag he comes with.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I think we are always going to be subject to going for exciting players, and naturally other big clubs are going to want to go for the same sort of caliber of players as well. We're not exclusive to any player that we pick just because we think we are, and I don't think we are on whole and generally that an entitled fan base to think that. I think this would be the signing that would excite a lot of people. Can you think of our back line and how strong that is going to be? One for the future as well. Super, super exciting. I think we commented on it on the last show, but we heard it during the Euros about Gordon having conversations about how good the club was. I think we saw that the sort of persuasion coming in there. Guehi and Gordon seem quite similar in terms of how they work and how they operate. Sort of like the mindset work. It's not just about the athleticism behind the game. It's actually about the mindset that goes into it as well. So similar characteristics there. So we've already got an advocate in camp with Gordon, which is great. What we saw of Guehi in the Euros, I think, was absolutely fantastic. So if we can get him, I will be buzzing.
And of course, Billy, Yilmaz is now on the map as well. I was very impressed with during Turkey's run in Euro Championships. I thought he was outstanding. Did play more on the left-hand side for Turkey and a little bit through the middle, but he's relatively cheap, I think, with a €20 million price tag. So is he somebody that would excite you if we went for him?
Absolutely. Yeah, very exciting player. I think he probably play on the right. I think he does play on the right, doesn't he, at times?
Yeah, so I think for his club he does,
yeah, he can play all across. So, yeah, it'd be very much an excitable and a cheap option, wouldn't he? Absolutely. 100%.
I mean, it comes to someone we're saying £20 million is cheap, but there you
go.
That's the modern day football for you, isn't it? I mean, Yilmaz is bulky, he's strong, Alex. He likes a battle. I think he'd be a great signing, especially for £20 million. And by all accounts, Mr. Mitchell was in the stadium last night for the Turkish Super Cup as Yilmaz made a second half appearance as a substitute.
And it was a 5-0 loss to Besiktas.
Yes, we'll skip over that.
Well, he may or may not be on the list for tonight, so I may plead the fifth on that for now.
Pleading the fifth. Yeah, I've got to stop my voice creaking like that. That sounds like bloody. No, we'll not go there. Yes, very, very quickly. Name is Turkish, like name the footballer. Oh, name.
Okay. Naim the footballer.
No, name is Turkish, like
Naim the footballer.
All right, shut up, Billy. I'm getting there. Remember Billy's tails nose.
Yes, okay. I said about Naim.
Arabic or Turkish, yeah.
Naim from the halfway line, so that's a fantastic talent if you can do it.
Indeed. Graham says, name some of the top players in Europe now, and they are predominantly young. Bellingham, Foden, Yamal, Musiala, off the top of my head. Well, you missed Gula there as well.
There's also a lot of really good holder players as well.
There is. I think if Guehi deals falls flat, we will go back to Rafinha. Keith says, I wish this comment can be read out by Paul. Well, there you go. It is read out by Paul. Hang on a minute.
If we don't get a centre half, we're going to instead go in for a winger.
Statement was, I think he means.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I mean, if we went and got, if we got Guehi and then we got Yilmaz, I think I'd be happy with that. I do. I honestly. Well, it looks like Asula's going to sign. That's according to the press. It's almost done and dusted, and that should be announced in the next couple of days. So we could get Asula, Yilmaz, and Guehi. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad, Sam, would it?
I'd be very happy with that. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. I think we wanted the marquee signing. That's what we've been waiting for. That's what we've been excited about. I think it has felt like a slow transfer window, and we're starting to see the frustration creep in among the fan base. So we just hope that the team and the project are doing the right work behind the scenes. But given and must say these are all rumours, but it'll be great if we can get those 3 in.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the first player of the evening, shall we? And it is... Well, slap my ass with a trout. There you go. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Barry Alper. It's not... I presume
You said
Barry.
Barry.
Well, it's got one of them little snakes under the S.
If it's called Barry, it'd be full of shit. We don't want him.
All right. Baris, Alper, Yilmaz.
Just let Alex say it.
Well, he doesn't get it right all the time.
Baris.
I mean, we have somebody with a Turkish name in the chat, so if you could illuminate us as to the pronunciation.
Is it Boris?
I think it's like a sh sound.
Boris and Barry are very, very similar, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Baris. We'll call him Baris. Baris.
Let's just call him Yilmaz.
Yilmaz is a bit easier. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm going to go with Yilmaz.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. So he is a right winger by trade and somebody that was fantastic in the Euros. And funnily enough, we are after one of them wingers of the right-sided variety. So it's definitely a good one to look at. And there are rumours that, of course, Mitchell left early to go and watch him. So you can't keep things like that too much of a secret. It's quite easy to know when agents get flights and things, and scouts
Alex,
watch matches.
According to Luke Gooderham, it's pronounced Dave.
That's Dave. Okay,
that's
Dave Yilmaz.
Dave, yeah.
Rodney.
Yeah.
So he's only 24 years old.
What's his preferred foot, Alex?
He's right-footed, as far as I'm aware. It doesn't say on FBref, but I'm pretty sure he's right-footed, so not an inverted winger in the traditional sense. If we scroll down, we do have some data, but of course, because Turkey is Turkey, not a Big Five league, we have data from the Euros and from some Europa League minutes.
Not in our view, by the way, to all our Turkish fans out there, Turkish viewers. That is according to FBref, not the Toon review.
I mean, it's according to FIFA, but yeah.
All right.
So it's 450 minutes. However, the fact that most of us watched Turkey in the Euros, I think it's fair to say that this spikes in the places that you would expect. He was quite physical and strong, a good ball carrier, good vision, good passing, and that is reflected in the small sample size of data that we've got. So progressive passes are again in the top 6% at 3 progressive passes per 90 for his position, alongside 2.8 progressive carries. I think this is slightly inflated by the fact that it's profiling him as a forward. I don't think we would ever use him in that capacity. This is kind of profiling him against nines and big kind of target men. So this is definitely going to inflate it somewhat. He would be predominantly, I think, used on the wing. Not that he can play as a forward, I would imagine, but I think it's when you say he can play as a forward, it's in the same sense as Anthony Gordon can play as a forward. We'd rather he didn't. We'd rather he was on the wing somewhere. But again, reasonable at ball progression, very, very physical, but this doesn't give us too much. And then it does give us some players that he profiles similar to, but again, take it with a massive pinch of salt because it's 480 minutes and he's kind of slightly out of position there. But it does have Kelly on that. You've got his Georgian compatriot in Mikhautadze. However we're saying that one.
Mikhautadze.
There you go. Billy got it. Hoyland, Arnautovic, Sesko, Morata. So interesting. You can definitely see some physicality in there. It's probably better if we go and have a look at some matches. Now, yes, as me and Paul just had a little chat about, Galatasaray did lose 5-0 to Besiktas yesterday. Was that yesterday? I think it was.
Yeah, last night.
However, please bear in mind they were 1-0 down at halftime. Then Yilmaz came on. And in terms of how the game actually went,
You sold that for us, Alex, straight away.
We'll game
it was only 1-0, and then Yilmaz came on.
yeah. But to be fair to him, it was so they made it 2-0, 53rd minute, and then there was a penalty on the 81st. And then they got a player sent off for a professional foul on the last man, and then it just went to absolute crud. And they conceded a 90+1 and a 90+2. So if I was their manager, I'd be furious at that. And of course, the lineups looked like this. I mean, Merton's in there as well. He's getting a bit old now.
Zoom in a bit, Alex. We can't see it.
Bloody hell, I know.
It's a bit far away, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a 4-2-3-1, of course, they've still got Zaha in there. They've got Ziyech. Torreira, the ex-Arsenal player, is one of their DMs. Got absolutely battered. Of course, Immobile's gone to Turkey. Rafa Silva on a free transfer from Portugal as well. So they've got a very, very good team. And Kilisoy, I can't remember how to say his name, is also very, very good. Played for Turkey. So it wasn't a fantastic game for him. In this match, how did he do? He actually got subbed. Yeah, struggled quite a lot in this match, to be fair to him. But we have to show you the bad if we're going to show you the good.
It's probably his first game back after the Euros, though, isn't it? So, I mean...
Yeah.
No.
It's not. He's had 6 since then, is he?
I think he was part of the 2-0 loss against Parma. So Galatasaray having an absolute stinker of a preseason so far.
Dear me.
It was Zaha and Ziyech started that one. And Zaha got hooked as well with a 6.4. Seemingly didn't do a very good job. So he came on. Where is he? There he is. He came on for Ziyech in the 67th minute. Hugged the right-hand side. Swapped probably once. And did absolutely nothing. Well, that's fantastic.
He's want to get rid of him for.
What an excellent showcase.
Hey, guys, come on, are we? I mean, we're doing him a bit of an injustice here. Come on.
We are, absolutely. If you watch anything of this guy, that is not a fair reflection of him whatsoever. So this is the game that I did watch because I watched the Poland games. I think we had to record one because I think it clashed with one of the England fixtures. But he scored against Poland. He didn't actually start, nor did Guled, to be fair. They were substitutions. So if we go down and have a look, so Guled and Yilmaz both came on at half-time. They wanted a bit more firepower, and they both profiled really, really well. Guled getting an 8.5 without scoring is fantastic, by the way. So Yilmaz in 45 minutes, 2 shots on target with a goal, missed a big chance, tried a cross, didn't really get involved in the duels too much at all, but scored, which is what you need to do.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a bit more of a meaty game in a league sense. Oh, there you go. Back end of the season. So he finished the season very, very strong with Turkey as well. In Turkey, should I say. Goal and assist here. 2 assists against Sivasspor. 2 goals against Alanyaspor. Let's have a look at this one because it's a bit more recent. So you have got... he started on the left in a 4-2-3-1. He'd got subbed as well. It was for Zaha in the 90th minute. Interesting heat map there. Again, right-footed. So question marks over whether we'd want him on the right-hand side, but I guess we need someone on the right-hand side. 1 goal, 1 assist. He got across a long ball, tried a couple of shots, completed every single dribble. That was drivel. Half of his ground duels and only 1 out of 6 area duels, which again doesn't look fantastic. So a lot of the data we're looking at here does tend to clash with what you can see if you go and watch some videos of him. But of course, this is why you have to look at the data as well, because YouTube will pick the best bits of the player. And a lot of the YouTube highlights show him beating sort of 3 players physically, jumping, winning a ball in the air, and then nutmegging someone. But yeah, those are his best bits. So you've got to look at all of it. He does have 20 caps for Turkey with 2 goals.
Naeem says it's pronounced Baris, like Boris, but with an A.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I just thought it might have been something else with the little squiggle.
Does it not slightly concern people that we are... I mean, he looks to be more left than right. Why are we looking for a left winger?
Yeah, and he's not the first to be...
I mean, his main position is right winger. He plays mostly on the right, but he's right-footed. And I know, obviously, we do very much like an inverted winger, although we love Jacob Murphy. But he was already here. He wasn't a purchase. So, and he had a very long contract, let's not forget. So we had to try and make it work. Yeah, so in terms of his transfer market value is pretty good. So he's a 24-year-old winger, technical, physical, high skill ceiling at a decent price. So I could definitely see him getting a move somewhere and being progressed. The fact that he has Liverpool interest, I think, supports that idea.
Go on, Liverpool, you get him.
Again, it's one of those where you take the risk on 20 or 30 mil, and within a season he's worth 60. It's one of those. Is it the right decision though? Again, question marks. There is always risk in transfer, so you have to be very, very careful. TM agency, again, I can't remember. We've looked at them before. Turkish, so possibly not. I mean, he's their highest value player on their books. Second highest is only 650k. So we're unlikely to have dealt with these people before, I would imagine, even though we've looked at like Kardioglu and stuff in previous shows.
Yeah.
So it's probably this guy. He was with them at youth level internationally as well. Contracted until 2027. Yeah, it's an interesting one. And I feel like if we do go big on a centre half like Guehi and have to pay lots of money, we may have to go in this kind of direction. We may have to fish in this pond for a winger.
Interesting.
Hold up, Alex. Any injuries?
Oh, yeah.
Well, just while he's getting that up on the screen, Mick J, thank you for your super chat. Into mine, second or third shirt, your views. Well, we haven't seen the second shirt. Well, we have, kind of, but the third shirt is outstanding. And Paul Stevenson.
Decide? Both.
Yeah, yes,
both.
Get both. Paul Stevenson, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for signing up and your future support. Much appreciated. Let's have a look at his injury record. Wow.
There's only one injury in his senior career to date.
Yeah,
Metacarpal fracture. And he only had 20 days for a metacarpal fracture. Where's your metacarpal? Is it your toe or your finger?
That's a good question.
I'm not saying because I'll make a fool of myself.
Anymore. Metacarpals are your hand bones.
That's all.
So yeah.
Oh no, carpal bones are your wrist bones.
I wonder what you've been up to.
The hand bone.
Oh, what, Billy? He simply, obviously, just fell on his wrist. Let's not even speculate on that, shall we? Yes. I mean, Daz says something must be up with Chiesa because nobody seems to be interested in him.
His bloody injury record.
It is alarming that nobody really wants him because
the fact that he's the fact that he is Santa Claus, just that takes a lot out of a guy.
There is that, yeah.
I mean, just imagine how much he has to take time to recover to get back to footballing ways after a very busy Christmas Eve. Those of you who have recently joined the channel and have no idea what we are talking about, Chiesa never plays at Christmas. He is always injured. So we came to the conclusion.
We can prove that.
Yeah, we came to the conclusion that he is obviously Santa Claus. Ray says best way to see how good players are is to watch a full game with that player and not YouTube best bits.
100%. That's why normally when we have to review someone I've never seen before, I will try and pull up a 90-minute recent match view just to have a look at how they play off the ball, on the ball.
Yeah,
because you don't get enough of it in the data, really.
Indeed. Joe Wilkinson, thank you very much for gifting a Toon Review membership, and that went to our loyal viewer, Foxy. So well done, Foxy. Hopefully, Foxy will continue on as a member once that runs out. But thank you very much for that, Joe. Yilmaz, what do you think, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. Decent price tag. I think the age is great. I am not too concerned about in fact, I'm probably encouraged by his versatility. He looks like he's predominantly a right winger. Not inverted, that's fine. That doesn't concern me because I've seen him play. Like, the quality is there. He's got pace, really good pace, takes on players. Yeah, I'm all for that, and I think it's the right sort of choice. And to Alex's point, if we're going for a big marquee with the likes of Guehi, then absolutely yes, that would be a bang on signing.
Indeed. We have my Smeagol, who's been a member for 4 months now on the channel. Thank you very much. I'm in big favour of Chiesa, though I heard he was going to Spurs. Guehi plus Chiesa, plus keeping out the big three players would be a fab transfer window. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I think it will be a fab transfer if we can get those players in. Nathan says, all good show as ever. Me and Amber are just watching for a bit before she goes to sleep. She wanted to let everyone know she fell and hurt her side, though. Though I would add it was quite funny.
Classic dad.
Well, Sam, she's your biggest fan, is Amber. So what would you like to say to Nathan for laughing at that incident?
Nathan, that's very naughty. You should go to bed early for that. And Amber, I hope you feel better soon, sweetheart.
There you go. And even blown a kiss. I mean, yeah, there you go, Amber. Right, let's have a look. My voice just stopped there. I was talking in my head, but my mouth wouldn't move. That was weird. Jesus. Anyway, Norvik's been a member for... Sorry?
We have a Palace fan in the chat. I've never seen a Palace fan in the wild. It's like a very rare Pokemon, isn't it?
It's good lad, Eagle-eyed football, to be fair to him.
Yeah, Eagle-eyed football's a good lad. So welcome to the channel.
What do you call a Palace fan? A crystallite? A Palace? No, that's definitely not the right word.
Crystallite.
We won't go there.
Alex, they're simply called Crystal Palace fans. Norvik's been a member for the 31 months now. Norvik is, of course, a mod as well. Thank you, Norvik. He's back again. He's had a bit of a rough time with family at the minute, so best wishes go out, of course, to Norvik. But he's back. Naeem says, better than Almiron, Yilmaz, Turkish Ottoman strength.
Well, in fairness, is it hard to be better than Mickey?
No.
I mean, an Ottoman would be better, let alone Ottoman.
We'd probably make our money back as well. Even if we had to pay 30 for this guy, we would probably get somewhere in the region of 15 to 25 for Miggy, plus amortization. That would absolutely clean it up straight away. So shouldn't really be an issue.
And there's still room for development. Sorry, Billy.
I'd like to see him come in, but I wouldn't be too concerned if Liverpool got him, because that might mean we keep a certain player.
True.
Who is that certain player, Billy?
Oh, Billy.
Anthony Gordon, of course.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, some of our viewers
He ain't going anywhere anyway.
No.
It's not even in my mind.
No. Palasites, says Colin.
No.
I agree with Tom. They're just called Palace fans.
Eagles. They're Eagles.
You can call us Eagles. There you go. Thank you. We do welcome, of course, any other fans of any other clubs to the channel, because we like to have the football banter as long as it doesn't go nasty. And then but we are welcoming.
We were very complimentary of Palace when we played them.
Oh, it was
I remember when we played you guys last year. We did the preview. We were terrified. You beat us convincingly. And then we tried to warn every other fan base week after week, going, they're better than you think that you're giving them credit for. Like, they're well put together. And then Palace went and dismantled every team for like a 6-week period, and nobody could handle it. It was very easy.
We have a Miggy fan. John says, what I know is that Miggy is better than any of you in the chat. Well, yes, but we're not paid multiple of thousands of pounds to play football. That's a big difference, John. You know what I mean? He's a professional footballer, and he's not very good at it right now. So that makes you look a bit foolish, John.
When a player's best quality is their smile and charisma, we have a problem. Let's just stop. Indeed. We've got ambition.
Yeah, Billy, that's a frightening look. I think you can use that on the next Halloween show, to be honest. Wow. Graham says, Chiesa, by the sounds of it, would fail Eddie's no dickheads policy. I'd be happy with Guehi and Mbeumo. Yeah, but Mbeumo just isn't getting linked. I mean, there was the little bits of talk about him here and there, but then, it's not happening. Stephen says the Arsenal defender was about 42 million. He looked different class to Gui. Improvement, no doubt, but surely we could get better value elsewhere. And that's the market we're in, unfortunately. A lot of people saying Braithwaite and also Silva, maybe cheaper options, Billy?
Braithwaite certainly wouldn't be a cheaper option. Silva maybe. But I've got to say about Guehi and Calafiore, to me, Guehi looked a better defender in the European Championships.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's have a vote on it. So come on then. Yilmaz, yes or no, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a yes from me. Billy?
Yes.
Alex?
Yeah. No, I'd take him in a heartbeat, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Adnan says Guehi and Roque, and that's it. Abs, look, we would all prefer Miggy on the right than Billy, but we are hoping for better than both.
I think I would be more entertaining than Miggy.
Yeah, entertainment-wise, absolutely. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be very interesting. Tom says Benfica always rinse a transfer for every penny. Silva wouldn't be cheaper. I'm not sure. You're talking English tax on it with Guehi as well. Remember?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Eagle-eyed football says Guehi doesn't get the respect he deserves because he plays for us. If he was at a European side, no one would question 65 million.
I agree.
And he sees him every week.
No, I think a lot of people do give the Palace players respects. Just the big six, not so much. And there are a lot of other fans around the country that do. You know, the way Mateta's been playing, Eze, Elise before he went. You know, Decore was fantastic. Anderson's been good for a long time, as is Guehi. They're really nice spine to that team, and a lot of other people do appreciate that. But
the right back's an awesome bod, absolute awesome bod.
I think Palace might be a bit of a force next season, the way they finished last season, providing they don't lose too many more players.
They don't have much depth either. They've lost.
Yeah, we were also linked with Eze today. If Mr. Gordon does leave, it could be that we turn to Eze in a double.
Well, that was Nixon from the Sun, so
yeah, take the pinch of salt. Well, speaking of Marc Guehi, here we go. Take it away, Alex.
So before we start on this, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in and just say I would prefer not to go for Guehi and to go for a cheaper centre-half option. Personally, I would prefer to put our eggs in the right wing basket, which I know is counter to what I said the other day, and I prefer we went massive on the defence.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there are centre-halves out there for 30 or 40 that can also be developed a bit. You know, I think Fabian Schär's got time. I don't think we have to throw 60 plus at a defender right now. We don't have to do what Manchester United do at all. Chow is still potentially an option. There are other centre-halves around Europe. It's rumoured that Palace are interested in Maxence Lacroix because we're interested in Guehi. Like there are other centre-halves in Europe right now that would cost between 30 and 40 that I think are more than adequate, that we can develop with a high skill ceiling. Right wingers and goal scorers are a lot harder to come by, especially because we're looking at somebody to potentially play on the right side of centre-half. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Ali B says it's pronounced Guehi. There's a Crystal Palace video.
Guehi, yeah.
Guehi, yeah. So not Guehi, it's Guehi.
Guehi, then. I was just pronouncing it phonetically. Okay. I guess Côte d'Ivoire, they speak a form of French there, do they? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I think
French,
so.
yeah.
It is French, Alex. Yes, Côte d'Ivoire is French, just to let you know.
Well, it'd be a slight variation of French. It's not going to be
French.
the same French they speak in Paris, is it?
It's French.
Yeah, okay.
Don't argue with me on that.
Yeah, he's right. Ivory Coast, literally Côte d'Ivoire.
Thank you, Billy.
So 24 years old. Anyway, we know he's a good age. Obviously, everybody saw him play in the Euros and was arguably the best player for England. I think it's hard for anybody to really pinpoint a better player. Anybody think anybody was better than Guehi?
100% not.
Yeah.
Well, for us during the Euros, Alex.
Yes.
He was spot on, and you heard it from the pundits as well. So yeah, I think he had a remarkable performance.
And to be fair, we were unsure about him on this channel. Remember, we did say we were unsure, but we gave him the credit he deserved because he was outstanding.
Proved it.
Yeah.
So he definitely stepped up his performances in the Euros. He is again quite young for a centre half, being 24. He's about 6 foot, right-footed. Plays on the left in the Palace setup, but can definitely play right-hand side as well and has done previously. There's definitely no doubt about that. In terms of data, strange profile defensively. But again, the way Palace were playing at the back end of last year, I don't think that he was needing to do an awful lot of kind of tackling and interceptions in that regard, because they were very, very dominant in those final sort of 3 months of the season, and he probably played a lot of minutes then. Pass completions is fine, above average in passes attempted and pass completions. Successful take-ons is okay. Again, I thought this would be a little bit higher. Maybe the carries, especially with some of the highlights you see in compilations of Guehi of him walking into midfield. But again, maybe he doesn't always officially beat a man to get into midfield. He maybe just takes advantage of some space through some poor pressing. So maybe does him an injustice because we do see a lot of him walking into midfield and playing a nice pass. How did he do goal-wise last year? It's not even got last year's report up. 2023-24 Premier League. It doesn't even tell us on there. We're going to have to scroll down and tell you. Hang on a minute. Now we've got the full scouting report. Here we go. Here he is. So not the most goal scory of centre halves, but ever present for Palace. 36 starts in 2021-22, 37 starts the year after. Last year, only 23 starts. So we'll go and have a look at why that was, presumably an injury of sorts. And obviously, we do know he came through the Chelsea Academy because it's been well documented that we've got Tino, who won Player of the Year at the Academy, and Lewis Hall. And people are saying that Guehi did as well at some point. I don't know if that's true. He had two months of injury. So we'll have a look at what that was. In terms of who he profiles like, you do have on this list... sorry, a minute ago. On last season's scout report, you'd got Lloyd Kelly on there, which was interesting, considering we've bought him and they're on the same scout report. You've got Nacho, who I'm pretty sure was the Real Madrid Nacho, who's just left.
Yep.
Who else have we got? Kevin Vogt, who I think was at Hoffenheim last year and was okay. And Dika as well, who of course we've done like 2 or 3 times on this channel, who's very, very highly rated. So some good company there. Recent games, obviously it's the Euros. And then back end of the season, they beat Villa 5-0.
I think you played midfield in that one. Midfield.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, of course, because they went to that funny back three, didn't they, when Gloucester came? Yeah, Eze with with a 10, which is not very common on SofaScore. So he played in midfield. I mean, just for fun, let's have a look at how he actually did. It's a bit far away to see. Let's bring up like this. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, to be fair, for a centre-half having a go at that. Very, very careful on the ball. Only misplaced 2 passes the entire game. 1 accurate long ball. Didn't win any of his aerial duels, which is concerning. I mean, who was he jumping against? Potentially Callum Chambers, if I can move across. Douglas Luiz, Callum Chambers.
Not bad.
It is what it is. We saw him win a lot in the air in the Euro, so we know he can do it. We've seen it plenty of times. Just out of curiosity, should we have a look at the game versus us? Was it really that far up? When was it?
Did he play in it?
I think, was he not injured?
He might have been injured at that point.
Did he not? Was he not a substitute? I don't know why.
He didn't play against us, I don't think.
I don't think he did.
Us. He had a shocker against us in October when we beat him 4-0. But
well, the whole team did, to be fair.
Right. Well, let's keep it more recent then. So a 3-1 win over Wolves. Did he play as a centre half in this game? He didn't even start. Presumably, he was coming back from injury at this time, I would imagine. When did he get subbed on then? He got subbed on 70th minute for Tyreek Mitchell. Okay, we would have to go back a little bit further then. Let's look at something a bit more recent to get some better data. If we have a look at some of the England games, at least it was in a back 4. We can get something a bit more recent. So this was against Slovakia. Crazy heat map. Do we not have a passing statistics? Oh, we do. So 112 out of 121 passes. So that is a lot. 127 touches as well.
But doesn't that just sum up Southgate's tactics, knocking around the back 4? I mean, remember how many times they passed it to each other?
Just out of curiosity, what did Stones do? Yeah, okay, similar.
Dear God.
Gareth Southgate ball, welcome.
Yeah.
7 out of 13 aerial duels. Pretty good when you remember that Benjamin Šeško... no, there was no Benjamin Šeško. This was Slovakia, not Slovenia. I'm getting my countries mixed up. Even still very good aerial duels, reasonable ground duels. So I'm not really giving you any new information here, guys. He is just a solid centre half, despite only being 24 years old, is competent in his passing. By the way, this is proof for Chiesa for anybody who likes him. Christmas. Where else is it? Christmas.
Don't forget about fitness. That massive fitness injury.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look at Marc Guehi, shall we? 16 caps for England. Apparently Manchester United are still interested in him, which I don't agree with. I don't know why they haven't updated that.
Well, they do get mentioned every time the report comes out saying that Manchester United may be interested. But interesting that there's no Liverpool rumours on there, considering what was said in the report this morning.
Yeah, I mean they've got most players that exist on this website, so it must be hard to try and update everything. But I'd be interested to know what Palace's position is currently on whether they need to sell, because obviously they've just sold Elise. I mean, maybe Eagle-Eyed Football, if you could give us a bit of an insight from a Palace fan. Obviously, you've made quite a lot of money on transfers out already. I'm not privy to who you've already bought. Do you really need to sell another player unless they want to force a move? And you'd imagine if they end up getting rid of Guehi, that's well over 100 million in
unless
revenue
their manager wants to bring in some of his own players as well, Alex. Let's not forget that he might have his eye on some players that they might need to raise some money for.
I mean, it's got great amount of names there, wasn't it, that we didn't see before?
Huh?
Where?
Holy cow!
Oh,
What are you looking at?
A DG, Aji Kinekide, Marc Israel Guhi. I've just slammed that name by the way.
All of the names.
Yeah.
Unique Sports Group, who we already know. I'm pretty sure they represent some of our lads. I think this is this Elliot Anderson's agency? Oh, it's Anthony Gordon's as well. I think it's also Elliot Anderson's. Yeah, Lewis
Chow.
Miley's on there. Callum Wilson.
Chow's on there.
Is Chow on there? Oh, he is. Yeah. Interesting
that a lot of people are mentioning Chow. That it could be a cheaper option going for Chow than Guhi. Eagle-Eyed Football says, yes, we need to sell Guhi because he's not signing a new deal and he's got 2 years left. Plus, we've signed Riyadh from Barcelona for 12 million and he's looking good. I reckon we will look at Lacroix too.
Yeah, I saw the rumours today that you were looking at Lacroix if Guehi went. Yeah, interesting. I mean, he's got 2 years left, so I guess if they're going to get a decent transfer fee from him, it's right now. Yeah. They would have to sell him right now.
Yeah.
And his injury, here it is, Feb 3rd until May the 1st, 88 days, 13 matches missed. But it doesn't look like it affected him too much because he was fantastic in the Euros.
Yeah.
In the previous 2 seasons, he didn't have any issues really. So it was just a one-off. It says knee problems. Not sure what that is, whether that's, again, probably something we'd have to look at in more detail.
Well, it kept him out most of last season, didn't it?
Well Botman had knee problems, and then it became considerably worse than knee problems in inverted commas. So it's something that always makes us a bit nervous.
Yes, but Palace probably had a better medical department than we had last year, to be fair, Alex.
Well, I mean, that's not hard, is it?
No.
So yeah, my personal opinion on this is fantastic. However, if we start playing silly buggers with 60+ million, I would prefer we went for a 30-35 mil around that kind of mark for a Chow or even looking at Maxence Lacroix ourselves. I would prefer to go cheaper and maybe get 3 players in, maybe get a decent right winger or 2.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to splash out on Guehi, to be fair.
Interesting.
As good as he is.
Guys, we've got over 1,700 watching tonight so far across both platforms. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Please do subscribe if you are new to the channel. And, of course, don't forget to give us a like if you're enjoying the show. Guy, Sam, what do you reckon?
Yeah, of course. Love him. Great talent. Loved watching him during the Euros. I think the feedback from all of the pundits was extremely positive and looked like a standout player for England. Alex does have a point, but we don't know what budget that we're actually playing with here, so that's a really interesting one. I think to bear in mind the amount of time that Eddie wants players to bed in for and get up to fitness level. Interestingly, how long does Shaw have left on his contract?
2021 more year.
1 more year. So is that sort of Eddie time, enough time to get if like some time under his belt now as he comes in?
I would want that extending. I would want to extend Share another year after this 100%. Season personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest.
It's all going to come down to price, isn't it?
The ladies don't want to lose Fabian Share.
No, we don't.
Eagle-Eyed Football has now subscribed. Love this structured and balanced discussion. No egos. That's what you get on here and with the chat, to be honest, mate. So thank you very much for subscribing. Much appreciated. Now, Alex, you did say you had a little surprise for us tonight with another player. Is that correct?
Well, the surprise was Yilmaz, but we do have another
well.
player I wanted to look at. So, and maybe it's best if the Palace fans stick around because he might be a Palace player.
Well, Charlie Ridgely has been a member for 6 months. Thank you very much for your support, Charlie. We shall watch from the beginning. We hope you are well. I'm still keeping our baby in, and he is coming 15th of August, but cannot wait to put him in a kit. God, Charlie, still cooking away there. Well, obviously, we wish you well for when baby does eventually want to arrive, but let us know straight away, please, and let us know that everything's okay. Spike says, I take him, one of very few who stood out for England. Chalobah would be a steal, in my opinion, says Anthony.
Could you put Foxy's comment up? Because this basically embodies what I think at the moment as well. I can find it. It's there.
Okay, there you go. You can get centre backs at a similar level to Guehi for half the price.
This is what I mean. I know they're not Premier League proven, but I think the price for Guehi is so high because he's Premier League proven and he's just done that in the Euros. You can get people that can play to that level who are 30 mil, 35 mil. It's risky, but
yeah, it is risky. And says, correct, Paul, RE share. Dear me. Okay, so let's have a look who this player is. Oh, it's Eze. I have to say that's not a very complimentary profile photo. I mean, he looks like some kind of kids presenter there. I'm sorry, but you know,
it's just him smiling. It looks all right.
Well, I mean, I'd rethink the hairstyle, to be honest. I mean, it's.
I think it's cool.
It's a cultural thing. There's nothing wrong with it.
Anyway, get on with it. Let's go. Well, Billy, you would. I mean, could you imagine Billy with a hairstyle like that?
Did you imagine me with hair? Full stop.
Well, yeah. I speak for myself as well, to be honest. Come on then, Alex. What can he offer us?
Yeah, the reason we're looking at Eze is because it was reported today that if we do lose Anthony Gordon, Eze would be somebody that we would look at straight away because we would want somebody in who can obviously score goals, be an instant threat, possibly even already knows the league potentially. And Eze fits all of those bills, ticks all of those boxes. So we're looking at him. 26 now. He's not the youngster. Obviously, a lot of people have been following this kid since he was at QPR. Everybody wanted the majestic 10 with the tricky runs, and he was always an absolute baller, even when he was a teenager. And he's ended up at Palace, and he's looked fantastic for it. Him and Elise together when they were on fire were just unstoppable. And then when Mateta decided to kind of have a bit of a Joe Linton resurgence himself, and have a bit more composure, they were just, the three of them were just absolutely unplayable. So Eze,
guys, those guys in the chat that are saying not for me, not for me. Why would Eze not be for you? I'm struggling to see why a player of his talent, you wouldn't welcome him at Newcastle. I mean, obviously people would rather keep Gordon. There's no doubt about that. But if we did lose Gordon, why on earth would people not welcome Eze?
I mean, Eze is fantastic. He is a bit older. He's 3 years older than Anthony Gordon. So he's definitely done that development stage. And last season was probably one of his best years. His contract does have 3 years left on it. He's on 100 grand. Of course, they did give him a bump just to try and keep him, and it did work. And they do have a good project of their own right now. So scroll down and have a look at
Joe comes out with a classic. He looks like Rick James. I just want to start singing Super Freak. Brilliant. Lots of greenery there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the successful take-ons. If he runs at you, good luck. Pray. Because he's probably going to get past you. He's one of those players. We've just talked about Sanusi in the academy and having a player who's got that slightly different skill set than a traditional winger. This is the guy. Please ignore the England performances. Southgate played him as a left wing back at one point. Just ignore anything that Gareth Southgate has done with any player, because he managed to make John Stones, the treble winner, look like absolute turd. So
Mike Williamson.
He made John Stones look like Mike Williamson. So Mike Williamson was
done nothing to deserve that.
He was.
I would go with Titus Bramble more than Mike Williamson.
No, I'm sorry, Mike Williamson couldn't. He'd got the turning circle of the Titanic.
Anyway.
Shocking comment.
Our lads.
Anyway, 3.59 shots per game is again elite, top 5%. Shot creating actions is also very, very high at 4.82 per 90. His passing is well above average. It's nice and tidy. Progressive passes is above average, but it's about the dribbly stuff. You just can't get the ball off him. The fouls that you will win from this guy as well, the free kicks in good areas would be great, especially having Tonali back in the team this year. We've got height to use. The defensive work rate is up there as well, 1.53 tackles per 90. This is based on 2,000 minutes. He was typically playing on the left, but we'll show you how they lined up. Look who's on the list. Look at it. You've got Musiala, Kvaratskhelia, you've got Isco on the list, João Felix, Kudus, Trossard. Basically, you've got wingers who are also very tricky. And that I think that kind of sums up exactly what he plays like. Gordon less so with the tricks, but he beats people more through power, determination, and pace. But you can definitely see it there with the Kudus, Kvaratskhelia, Musiala, Isco especially as a trequartista has got all the little tricks to get around you. Let's have a look at his goal scoring because I know that is important, especially off the back of Anthony Gordon's good season. So 11 goals, 4 assists last year. So 15 goal contributions is not bad. I think Anthony Gordon got 20, 21, something like that. And then the previous year it was 10 and 4 as well. So you're looking at about 14, 15 goal contributions per season. Of course, if we can keep him fit, use him for most of the year, we might be able to get that closer to 20, maybe even a bit more. Yeah. Look at that. Eze would create a ton of chances for Isak. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Mateta, but I think Isak is a lot more, is more lethal, shall we say. So we may get more of a tune out of him, especially having Tonali, Bruno, Joe Linton behind a player like this. It could get quite tasty very quickly. Recent games and how they lined up. This will make a lot of sense. Again, strengths according to SofaScore, playmaking and high pressing. We love to see it. Palace. So here was his 10 out of 10 performance in the 5-0 demolition of Aston Villa. Alex Ferguson is still probably very angry at this result as well. He doesn't like Villa losing for some reason.
Yeah, Villa were the better team, obviously. If Fergie was watching it, yeah. Twat.
So this is how they were lining up under Glasner in the latter stages of the season. It was a back three, but it allowed kind of a floating two of Eze and Elise behind Mateta. But Eze would kind of just go everywhere. We saw Tyreek Mitchell provide a lot of width against us. Nathaniel Klein was providing a lot of width because he's himself traditionally a fullback. Daniel Munoz as well was fantastic. I know Billy was singing his praises at the time. And the shape just worked fantastically. People just couldn't handle it. And Eze was great in this shape, to be fair. There you go. This is exactly what we need. Left-hand side. This is if Gordon goes. We don't need a player like this right now, but if Gordon goes, we could do with this. He got 2 goals, 1 assist, 4 shots on target, 1 blocked, 1 completed dribble. Very, very tidy in the passing, considering the type of player he is. 7 out of 11 ground duels, so winning his physical battles. 2 free kicks, 1 for his team, 1 offside. So modest in areas, but again, a 10 out of 10 performance because he's got 2 goals and an assist. So absolutely fantastic. And if we go back, these kinds of performances continue with goals, assists, lots of greens in here as well. They had a funny little friendly against Bodo Glimt in March. Yeah, we were too injured to have friendlies. We didn't do that last year. It was just not possible. So against Wolves, he scored in this game as well. I mean, the trio all scored, to be fair to him, with the little Christmas tree. How did Eze do in this game? He did. Oh, I thought we were looking at Joel Ward then. No, we're not. Left-hand side, again, obviously. He got his goal, 3 shots, 1 completed dribble. So struggled to actually get round people. 90% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, 2 accurate crosses, 1 accurate long ball. About just under half of his physical battles in this game. But again, doing what he needs to do with goal scoring. I think everybody has seen a lot of Eze. I don't need to patronise anyone to know he's a fantastic player. Yeah. How much would he cost? I mean, he's now capped 7 times for England,
he's got a release clause, Alex. 60 mil.
He has a release clause.
Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
Well, according to everybody in the media, he has.
What is this supposed release clause?
60 million. So
I mean, I would pull the trigger on that straight away. If we lost Gordon, I would pull the trigger on that. Obviously, the only downside to a release clause is you can't pay it in installments typically.
well, unless you're one of the cartel, they get special permission to do
Well,
anything
just
they
get to make it up as they go along. But yeah,
Absolutely. Eagle Eye Football says release clause of 60 million plus 8, which will probably be add-ons and stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, CAA base as well. We have representation within that, so we've definitely dealt with them before. Contract until 2027. I mean, so what's that? 3 years from this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any realistic chance of us negotiating less than the release clause.
No,
Sometimes
I mean,
you can.
If you didn't have a release clause, you're looking at 3 figures for him, I think.
I think they would try.
Yeah.
I think they would. Maybe sort of closer to 80, 90, maybe. I agree. It would just.
I'm going to say what I say every time. I'm sorry if Jack Grealish was 100.
That's true.
This guy's 100.
Yeah, that's
they,
true.
they broke the market. Man City and Man United have broken the market. I agree with both of you that what it should be, but it's not because of the Grealish transfer. The market's gone. So yeah, but I agree. I think they would hold out for 100. If there was no release clause, they would say, no, we've sold Elise. We're not getting rid of him as well. They'd stick 100 on him straight away.
Well, interesting. Sam, what do you reckon?
Well, it's the if transfer, isn't it?
It is,
if Gordon goes, I am not going to be upset to get him in. Would I have him over Gordon? No, I want to keep Gordon, and I think that we should be putting that type of money into securing his signature for a few more years. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. He's fantastic. No disrespect at all. I would not be unhappy about it, but I want our lad Gordon to stay.
Well, the thing is, Sam, nobody knows what's going on in the background at Newcastle, do we? I mean, Mitchell may have a priority in his early days at Newcastle United to try and get that new contract for Anthony Gordon and put all these rumours to bed.
I agree. Yeah.
Billy?
100%. Take him every day of the week. Yeah. Again, it's all on the requisite that Gordon was to leave the club.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, if he didn't, I wouldn't be interested. But if he does, I'll be straight in at him. £68 million is a snip for him.
Yeah, I mean, if it was to come down to losing Gordon, which, by the way, I don't think any of us want. I don't think anybody watching wants either. So let's hope that doesn't actually happen, and we don't have to go for Eze, because I think we'd all rather keep Anthony Gordon. So I guess time will tell.
I mean, Eze did have a bad injury, didn't he? 2 or 3 years back. I mean, someone's asking about his injury record. He did have a really bad one, didn't he, when he first went to Palace?
I can bring it up. It was an Achilles tendon problem.
Oh, yes, 162 days.
But
3 years ago.
Not bothered him for a while. He's only had a month off in the last few years, so
yeah,
not terrible.
I'm not worried about his injuries. He's fine. He's fine. By the way, there's just a report in the Mirror just been released that Joe Gomez has stated that he is going nowhere. Of course, that was after links with Newcastle United earlier on last week. So there you go.
Stay in that too.
The Mirror.
Did he call up the Mirror? Did he?
Well, apparently so. Yeah. Let's call up the Mirror and say I am going nowhere.
Going nowhere, mate. Staying here.
Yeah, I want some chicken. I can Coke. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. But there you go, guys. That is the show done and dusted on this fine Sunday evening. Thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in, as usual. Please do give it the thumbs up if you have enjoyed the show before you leave, if you haven't done so already. Also, please continue to vote for us in the Football Content Awards. That is still pinned at the top of the description. Please vote for us, put your information in, and vote for us in Best Club Content Creator - Premier League. That's Best Club Content Creator - Premier League. Keep voting for us, guys. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're watching this either live or on a rerun, please do consider subscribing. Free to do so. Come and be part of an incredible community here on the Toon Review. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we upload any recordings or we schedule in our live shows. Thank you for all your Super Chats, memberships. Mods, thank you. Billy, Alex, and Lady Sam, thank you very much. But mainly thanks to you guys. Sunday evening and over 1,700 watching. It's incredible support. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. It really does mean a lot to us. But enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, folks, and we will see you very soon. Good night.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out the breathing. When I'm without you, and you're without you.